grade. I say, no, you earned a grade,
Absolutely.
and we make that distinction. They learn very quickly.
We've been very supportive up to this point. I want to let our audience know that not everybody is as behaviorist as some other folks. That I'm concerned of that with a lot of this outside reinforcement, and you do it for something. What's in it for me? We create materialistic kids. And I think the best reinforcers are when the kid realizes the teacher cares about me, is concerned about me, that we say, hey, you know, kids, why'd you do that? Because I care about you and I care what happens to you, and that's why I do these things. And you and I are going to make it as a team. And I want to work more on the inside, and many cultures do not use outward sort of reinforcements for appropriate behavior. There's earning the respect and love and caring of another. So I'm just not quite as behavioristic as other folks.
But I think, excuse me, I think, though, that by setting up the contingency so that the child can succeed is showing them that you care about them. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Hopefully they will internalize, as you say,
As long as it's
learn the
paired
appropriate.
with the personality
Absolutely.
of the teacher.
Well, you certainly don't want to leave them dependent on M&Ms, so to speak.
But you know, even the M&Ms of even touch, you know, a lot of our young children are so away from that whole culture of touching, that kind of connectiveness, that when even a high school student really gets a great thrill out of the old perennial pat on the back, or the whole perennial hug, or to just keep that contact going, that you develop a sort of relationship with them. And it opens up another whole sensitivity side of them, that they somewhat in the streets, they really take a great effort to close it out. We don't want you to see us.
Right. So we have to build that touch.
Exactly.
First of all, when you're helping the kid, you kind of brush shoulders with them, and then it's
Yeah.
that quick slap on the back. And months later, when we've bonded with the kid, we can, you know, put our arm around him.
Exactly.
I just want to caution, though, that you have to have a good, and I don't know how else to say this, but gut sense about who the kids are in the room. You can't touch every kid.
Oh, definitely.
Some kids, the minute you even go close to them, they become extremely agitated. Don't touch me, don't come near me. And so instead of doing something positive, you may wind up pushing the student even farther away. So you really have to have some sense of which kids you can touch and which kids you can't touch, because they can be very volatile upon being touched.
Well, I had a young man like that, and it took a long time of continuous dialoguing with him to realize that it's all right for us to bond as a man to another man, a young man. And he very adamant about it, that oh no, we'll shake hands, but that's the extent of it. But it took time, and it grew. And you're right about that. Sometimes it could work just the opposite. But again, I always tell my teachers in our own school, we are supposed to be master psychologists. You know, we have to understand things before it even happens. We ask our own selves questions every morning when we walk into the room before the young people ask those questions. We sort of presuppose the questions that are going to be coming after us, and then we're going to begin to react to it. So again, we have to be able to stand above. Whenever a teacher calls me in and like they're really ready to just go out, I always say, we are supposed to be much more intelligent than they are. How are we going to let them? And then we have to take that same intelligence and then use it to our own extent. But one other quick point on your idea of case management, I think that's a key piece that we must, and I think the solution for the 90s, I think, will be case management when we deal with these young people, where parent, guidance counselor, teacher, para, whoever's in that circle, that it's even on a lunch hour we have had case management, where we decide one day a week we'll eat lunch together and sit down and case manage that youth. And I mean, the information that we can get from each other, something that you've seen a young person that I will not see, and the other person, the guidance counselor, may see. And once we start putting those things together, and then mother comes in and says, you know, he does the same thing at home. And then we begin to come